Okay. All right, guys. So tonight is the Dream Team Monday Night Team Zoom. We meet here every Monday night to spend some time together and talk about whatever topic is relevant for the time. Tonight's topic is actually about PPA, which is always relevant in this business. For those of you that don't know what PPA stands for, I call it personal performance activity. I don't know if that's actually exactly what it stands for, but it's new orders. So it's the very first time someone orders. So the very first time someone is a customer, or maybe the very first time somebody orders as a promoter. If you have a customer who then flips to a promoter, that is not a new PPA. That person already ordered. So it is literally the first time somebody puts their order in and processes something under that account. That is a new PPA order. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'll get to mine in a second, but then I also asked Lindsey to hop on as well, because part of her, if you're in her accountability challenge, part of one of the challenges this week is based on PPA. So I thought how appropriate to ask her to be in this with us. So before we get started though, let me just go over really quickly a reminder that is an auto ship comes out in a couple of days. So if you have anybody that you want to connect with about your auto ships, make sure you let them know they have to make the changes by tomorrow, by 11:59, if they want to change anything, add anything, not delete anything. We don't delete anything, but you want to get a hold of them and see if there's anything that they want to do with their auto ships. And we talked about it in the past. Now is a great time to offer them, maybe if they want to add an item, like maybe add balance to their order. If they want to add maybe Thrive Skin, that you could offer free shipping or something on the auto ships. So just know it is an auto ship week. And then also, before we get started, for those of you that are in the accountability group that Lindsey is actually hosting and running right now, we are starting the second week. Next week we will be on weeks 3 and 4, and that's when you're going to get a new partner. So everyone that's in the accountability group should have gotten a message. Everyone on my team that's in the accountability group should have got a message from me today saying, give me your feedback and also give me your commitments for weeks 3 and 4. If you have not written me back yet to give me the commitment, let me know. Because they are going to be starting to put those groups together. Also, if you missed the first 2 weeks and you're wishing you had joined, if you're on my team, contact me. Otherwise, contact probably Lindsey or Susan if that's your 200K, and let them know that you're interested in joining. You cannot join late in the game. So if you want to do this, you've got to do it early. But that is also kind of on the table right now. So let me see. I see Lindsey's on here with us now. So I think, okay, so let me just start really quick. I'm just going to throw out something that I did last week, and it came out of Lindsey's accountability challenge, actually, and it's something that I'm doing. It's a long-term, I guess is the best way to say it, PPA builder. And then I've asked Lindsey to pop on and share with us her thoughts too on ways that she built her PPA. So remember, PPA is new people, and it's not just getting the account set up. It's actually getting an order out of new people. But you can't get a new account or a new order unless you go meet new people. And so I am approaching my 4-year anniversary with the company. And as you can imagine, my warm market, as they call it, is tapped. I mean, I've talked to, if you're my friend or my family, you know I'm a thriver. So we all have different life situations, and mine is actually really great in the fact that we do own a business, but I do have repeat clients in that business, so it's not constantly a new supply of people there either. And I have to force myself to go meet some people, and that's an awkward thing for me. Like, I'm not an outgoing, like, let's just go down the street and start talking to people kind of person. So one of the challenges last week that Lindsey had on the team, or on the accountability challenge team, was to contact someone on your chicken list. And so I really struggled with that because I'm not outgoing, but at the same time, I don't really have a chicken list. Like, I don't really have somebody who I'm afraid to talk to. But so instead of me being like, oh, I don't have a chicken list, I was like, what are you afraid of, Tammy? Like, if you're not talking to someone specific, what is it you're afraid of? And I flat out just told you, I'm not the kind of person to just run down the street and talk to strangers. So I know I have to put myself physically into some new circles. And I've been doing the whole friending strangers on Facebook and Instagram, and you can have some success with that. I've seen a lot of people do well with that. But I also feel like, and I think we even learned this at Thrive Palooza, face-to-face is so much faster. And I don't want to say more real, but obviously it's more real because it's face-to-face. So anyway, long story short, I was like, what am I afraid of? It's meeting people. How can I meet more people? Well, I mean, I'm not going to sign up for like a singles group or like online dating or anything crazy. So what I decided to do was think about things that I'm actually really passionate about or really enjoy. And if you know me, that would be gardening or dogs. Or my nephews, but there's no club for them. So I've already like started joining those types of groups on social media. But then I was like, well, I should probably meet like real life people in my community who are in these groups. And so I actually am going to be joining our local garden club, and it's a lot harder to get into than I realized. I just thought, being a youngster like I am, that you would just log on and click join a group and pay a fee or whatever and go to a meeting. But I had to like really call around and ask around. I finally found someone who I know who's in garden club, and they have to take you to a meeting and yada, yada. So anyway, next month I'm going to my first garden club meeting. And so that is just an example of, there's going to be times in your business where you need PPA, or you're focused on PPA. Maybe you're trying to qualify for a trip or something like that. And maybe it's a time in your business where you can literally just be like, I got to go hit this list of people one more time. I'm going to throw DFT at them, and you're just going to start popping orders. And I love that time in business, and I love when that happens. But there's also going to be a time in your business where you have to start thinking long-term, big picture. How am I going to get out and meet more people? What am I going to do? So that was something for me that came off of the chicken list, was not just talking to, so now instead of talking just to one person I would be frightened of, I have to go to a meeting with an entire group of people that I don't really know. So that should be fabulous. But we all share a love of gardening. So I can be my dorky, flower-loving self around these people, and hopefully they will accept me. And then that'll be an easier situation to introduce myself to people, to get to know people, and to start making friends outside of my current circle. So that is that's an example or a version of long-term. So I want you guys to think about that. I have a lot of people on my team who I know are like baseball moms and soccer moms, and all these other things that your kids are in, and you don't talk to those other parents when you're there. And that's a perfect example of a group of people, a circle of people that you could be talking to. So whatever it is that you're into, like, and I'm going to pick on Sonia. Sonia is on my team, and she loves her Harley, and she's in a group of ladies that ride. And I can guarantee all those ladies know she's a thriver. So when you're in your circles of things that you're already doing, that you already love doing, make sure those people know what you do. And if you're like me and you don't really have a circle, like I didn't really have an outside circle, or at least not a new enough outside circle to where I could tell people what I do, go find a circle. Go find something that you love, that you feel passionate about, or that you just, I shouldn't even say passionate, like just something that you enjoy. So, maybe it's the museum, maybe it's sewing, maybe it's, I don't know, like whatever it is that you like. There's bound to be other people, and that's something that you can immerse yourself in and start making new friends. And again, let's say I go to this meeting and there's 20 people in the group. Those 20 people may not become my customers, but friends of theirs may be, family of theirs may be. Those are just going to be 20 new people that I'm going to be networking with. But instead of going to like a networking meeting and feeling awkward because I'm networking, I'm going to go talk about flowers, which I love. So anyway, with that, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to bring on Lindsey. And again, Lindsey, thank you for being on here tonight. I know you're busy. Thank you. I hope I sent you the reminder soon enough. But just really, so on our team Zooms on Monday night, usually we have a topic. I kind of throw out my ideas. And then in this case, you're going to throw out your ideas as well. And then depending on how much time we have at the end, we just kind of do like open mic, and people can chime in with their thoughts or their suggestions. And I always ask the team to come prepared with like their successes or their failures so that we can all learn from each other. So you throw out a couple of things or whatever you feel comfortable with sharing that you do or are trying to help with your PPA, because you've been in this even longer than I have. So I know that you have to have that same struggle.
Absolutely, guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to start by just saying that the most important thing, if you leave with nothing else tonight, you have to leave with your personal business needs to come first. I said that on the Monday morning call. I say that to myself on the daily because it's so easy for me to wake up in the morning. Sorry, got to hang up on that person. It's so easy to wake up in the morning and be, I immediately want to go and answer people's messages and questions and stuff like that. That's just my human nature. If you were to pick up my phone right now, There's no unread emails. There's no nothing. That's where I'm super, super anal. However, I have had to make my personal business. And so the first thing that you do is, Tammy honestly took a lot of my ideas, because I'm telling you, I've been breeding this into these accountability groups. You've got to step outside of your comfort zone. A couple of things that I was going to say is just like what she said. She's physically joining a garden group, which is awesome. I joined the Chamber of Commerce, which I had said for 3 years now I was going to do. Finally joined it. With our local small Chamber of Commerce, they have a monthly luncheon, and you get a 30-second commercial. So you get to stand up and you get to tell your business for 30 seconds, and you get to intermingle and stuff like that. I'm only 2 meetings in. I'm not throwing up Thrive on people. They just know I'm the local Thriver. And it's very hard too, because I am dealing with 90% of the people in that room have a brick and mortar. So it's very hard for them to try to understand where I'm coming from, and vice versa. So that's something that I stepped out. She's joining a gardening. Another thing too, don't lose sight of Facebook groups, guys. If you have a special needs child, if you are a doggy mommy, if you are a big fitness guru, there are groups out there a dime a dozen. We actually, in our local towns, it's called the Sanger Speaker and the Crumb Rant and Raves. Okay, I've been on both of those as like the Thrive Mafia. However, if you search out those pages in your towns and in your communities in those areas, they have like a rule, or at least I know down here. I don't know y'all's rules up there, but you don't know until you ask or you look. It's Work It Wednesday, and anybody that owns a business can get on there and advertise their business. And so I've really started implementing that into my local area. 90% of people in Crum know that Lindsey's a Thriver, but I moved right up the road to the next town in Sanger. They don't know Lindsey the Thriver. They know Lindsey as the old newspaper chick that worked here forever. So it's important for me to, and I'm not posting cheesy, like, get your vitamins and I'll give you your thing for free. I'm just posting fun little graphics. Pictures to me say 1,000 words. I will say this. I err on the side of caution of weight loss, because I am not a product of weight loss with the Thrive experience, and it is not Thrive's fault. I love me some Whataburger and all these other things. Okay. So it's not their fault. So I am very, very careful when I do post like pictures and stuff. I love to post, maybe a college student, and then the next week I'll focus on, a grandmother that's getting her happy back and being able to do her kids. Look at those Facebook pages. Another thing, which I know that a lot of y'all are in the accountability group, but I'm going to reiterate this because I know that it's a pain in the butt to do and it's a lot of paper, but it'll be your best friend. Print off your Facebook friends list. You can sit here until you're blue in the face and think that you've reached out to every single person on your Facebook, but mark my words, you haven't. And with that Facebook list, you play the alphabet game and you just start with the A's. Who all did I go, to the Christian Academy with? A is an academy. Start on those people. Highlight them off. Who all did I go and work at the box factory with? You go to B and start working on those people. It's the alphabet game. You start thinking of those people, and guess what? If they're not on your friends list and you think, oh my gosh, I worked with Mary Lou at the box factory, I'm going to go and search for Mary Lou's name and I'm going to friend her on Facebook. You're not going to blow up Mary Lou. You're going to friend her on Facebook, and you're going to let her start seeing what you do, and you're going to send her a message and say, oh my gosh, I missed those fun days back at the box factory. You remember all the shenanigans we did? Whatever. Okay. We did have a box factory where I came from, so just hear me out. Okay. So the alphabet game is truly going to make you realize that you probably haven't friended everybody that you think you know. TJ, I see you on here. You just started a new job, so you're finding yourself with so many more contacts. And it isn't that he's going to sit there and say, you need to thrive. That's what gets me through the day. He's just going to wear his little patch loud and proud, and people are going to be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you wearing a sticker? I'm pretty sure you probably already heard that, and he's going to be friending new people. You've got to think outside the box. I'm going to tell you, I built my business with 75% via social media. I am really, really trying to do the whole Instagram thing as well and become more active on that. I'm kind of just like Tammy. I may be adding all of these people and they're seeing my stuff and I'm in that watering, I'm still watering stage. It's, eventually they're going to sprout. I just know it's going to flourish. But I'm not stopping. And like, I love I have really, really put this into forethought the last 3 weeks. I'm not waiting for the message and I'm not worried about what the message is. I'm just continuing to send the messages to the individuals. So as far as PPA, the most important thing, guys, is putting your business first, making sure that you're reaching out to people. We have a whole new group of people that are interested in skincare. So for me, I am by no means a skincare guru, but I have spent lots and lots and lots of money on my face. I've struggled with all kinds of different things ever since I hit puberty. So it is what it is. Welcome to the real world. And so I love it. As a matter of fact, I am not wearing makeup. I do not wear anything but eye makeup anymore. I'm telling you, it's incredible. So you can be implementing this to all of those people. And that was why one of the challenges I put out was your chicken list. A lot of people now can turn around and offer them, you know what? We have our new skincare line, and I just know that that's something that that you like to take part of. Olivia did it best. She pretty much called out her chicken list study and said, listen, I know you don't want to thrive with me, and I respect that. However, we have a new skincare line, and I would love to send you a sample, something y'all read it on there. And she boldly said that. And to me, there's no white there's no gray area. That was white, that was black. It was yes. And the lady came back and wanted a sample. So that chicken list needs to come forward. The most important thing, you've got to write people down, guys, and you've got to reach out to them. When my most income producing thing is sitting here going through my Facebook, just like when Tammy was talking. Sorry, Tammy, I was listening. I saw a couple of people, especially on Mother's Day, because a lot of people that don't post on Facebook were posting on Mother's Day yesterday, and their names are popping up, and they're the people that I'm going to reach out to and just say, hey, I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Just because Mother's Day's over doesn't necessarily mean that you don't reach out to them. Just like birthdays, one week I'll wish them a happy birthday on their birthday. The next week I'll wish them a happy birthday and say, I hope you had a great birthday, and I just kind of start that in private Facebook Messenger. But PPA is your personal production activity, guys. It making sure, and I loved, for the first time, Paul actually said something that I totally 110% agree with. And I really wanted to go up there and like smack him and say, I'm so happy you said this. He finally said, it is okay if you're only getting 3 to 4 PPAs a month. Guys, that's huge. I want you to understand. I think that we have this misconception when we see these people walk across and they're 200 and, 3 months. I want to know, are those 200 people still customers? I want to know the customer retention. I want to know, but you know what? I could sit here until I'm blue in the face. 3 to 4 customers a month is legit. My goal is 3 customers a month, keeping those customers, because 9 times out of 10, I'll shoot myself in the foot, and I'm pretty sure any of y'all can say the same thing. The double triple comes out. I find myself posting that damn graphic out there, and they're like, oh, Lindsey, how can I get that for this? And I'm like, Lindsey, why did you post that? You said you weren't going to do that. So I'm not going to not tell my customer what the opportunity is, because if I don't, somebody else is. So I always share that opportunity with them, knowing they're not going to be a promoter. But that's the most important thing. I will say this, to keep your customers, it's just like I said on the Monday morning call this morning. You have to reward them in some way, shape, or fashion. I think that we lose sight. Jimmy John's been a customer for 6 months. I'm just going to keep taking his money. I keep trying to help him get his product for free. He don't want to do it. Well, that's fine. So be it. But shoot him down $15 in credits every month, or say, you know what? You've been such a great customer and you've been doing this for 3 months. I'm going to let you try out one of our Plus Line products. Guys, we all have extra stuff sitting on the shelves. And if you don't, you'll get to that point eventually. And when I say send them stuff, I'm not saying a whole box of bars. Give them a little variety pack of some different things we have. Give them a recover and a boost. And sorry, this is Courtney. She won this. This is her little hat getting ready to ship out tomorrow with some Plus Line products. Give them something that they can, just try and see if they like. I'm a firm believer that you got to try something twice before you know if you really like it. So I always give them like 2 Activate or 2 Boost, because I have everybody comes back and says, I just can't drink that Boost, Lindsey. Okay, tomorrow I want you to try it in your shake. So that's how you're going to keep your customers, is making sure that you're making them happy. To get your customers, guys, there's no secret sauce. It's daily actions that you're taking to work towards that. It's these accountability groups that your leaders are putting together for you. It's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 challenges that other leaders are putting. It's the things that Maria is implemented for us in the VIP. Those are how your personal production happens. And I'll leave you with this, Tammy. I'm going to just throw Pam not even under the bus, but I challenged her to just start digging deep. I said, start dig deep. Because here's the thing, there's so many people in maybe your level 2, 3s, or 4s that maybe their upline's not as supportive, and maybe they're not in it for the right reasons, or maybe they're gone, whatever the case is. And there's some rocks that are not turned over. I'm telling you right now, in your downline, your number 1 promoter could be down there. And yes, that's not helping your personal PPA, but we're going to move on to team PPA, you've got to reach out to those people, and you've got to just, let them shine bright like a thriver. You don't know that they just might need a little bit of pick-me-up, and that's your rock star right there. So implementing that, reaching out to your customers, your current customers, getting yourself to do something that's uncomfortable. I said it for 5 years now. If it doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies, then it's not out of your comfort zone. I'm going to tell you that again. If you don't get the heebie-jeebies, then you're not outside your comfort zone. You should feel very, very awkward going to the garden club. Like she said, she didn't know that it was going to be this huge ordeal to get into a planting facility, but now she's in there, or she's going to get in there. She's going to do it. I'm pretty sure Sandra never thought she's going to be a ball passer outer, but she is. I've been in the chamber for the newspaper. People think Lindsey is a newspaper person, even though I haven't been with the newspaper for 5 years. Now I'm planting that seed with them that I'm the Thrive lady. And if you're tired and you're cranky, and now this month I get to go and talk about our skincare line. So it's doing something that's very uncomfortable, or Tammy said it best, when you're going to those baseball, those softball, those volleyball games, football games, whatever sport it is, are you sitting by the same people every single week? Are you sitting by your spouse? Or are you making a point to go sit by somebody different at each game to strum up conversation? You never know that you might be what they were praying about last night. You sit by a new person, it gets brought up in casual conversation, and you could have just saved that person. And to me, that's what this business is all about. So Tammy, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, perfect. So I just made a couple of notes while you were talking, some things I want to make sure that we cover. So you talked about how Paul mentioned 3 to 4 customers a month. And so it goes back to, I think he said it before, and I've heard it a million times. It is a numbers game. So if you guys have a goal of 3 consistent customers a month, you have to understand that means talking to a hell of a lot more people than 3 people a month. If you want to get 3 orders a month, you're going to have to talk to probably, 100 to 200 to 300 people to get an actual order to come through with that. And so the more you become comfortable with talking and reaching out and touching in different ways these people over and over and over until it finally becomes their turn, the better you're going to be. So I don't remember who said it before, but when you send those messages, send it and move on to the next message. Don't sit there and wait for them to respond. Don't wait for, what do they think of my message? Or was it witty? Or are they going to buy my deal? Just keep shooting them out messages. And excuse me, like Lindsey said, I sent some Mother's Day messages yesterday because it was part of our challenge, but I actually sent a lot today because today it's a lot calmer. People are back at work. Facebook isn't blowing up left and right with Happy Mother's Day stuff. And I was actually able to kind of cheat a little because most people had shared something for Mother's Day. So I was able to say things like, it was so great your son came in from out of town, or it was so great you got to see your own mom. And so don't just give up. Like anytime there's a holiday or an event, that's a really good time to talk to people. If you have any friends that have children, there's probably some sort of graduation happening here really soon, whether it's high school, kindergarten, whatever. Kids are graduating from all these different groups and grades nowadays. So there's all kinds of reasons to reach out to people. So just reach out, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to happen. So that's part of that numbers game. And we both talked about being like in Facebook groups. And something I just want to make sure that everybody understands is it's one thing to join a Facebook group. That's great. That's the start. But the hard part is you have to be active in the group. So not only do you need to make a post in those groups consistently, you need to be commenting in those on posts in the group. And those are the kind of thing where you do want to make the post or you want to make the comment, and you want to make sure you're available to respond to those things. Don't just throw up a post in a group and get people liking your comment or asking you things and not responding to it. You need to start building that rapport, because if you join a group and you just start friending people in the group, that's kind of weird and that's kind of spammy. However, if you join a group and you start being active in the group and people are responding to you, and then maybe somebody comments 2 different times on something you post, well, that's somebody you can then send a friend request to, and it's not totally out of left field, and then you guys can actually connect. So don't just join the groups. Like, I can't just go to the garden club and sit in the corner. I'm going to have to talk to people, and that's the part I'm going to have to psych myself up for. But so just don't join the group, actually be in the group. And then Lindsey talked about customer rewards, and so we own a business we have a brick and mortar business. And one of the best things that anybody can do is give us a referral. Like, for somebody to go and say, I had such a great experience, or I'm having such a great experience at this place, you should try it. That's a huge deal for any business. And so, like Lindsey said, I think a lot of times we get used to people placing their orders, or maybe we chased people really hard to get an auto bonus or earn a trip. And then now we're trying to chase more people, so we forget about these people. And you can't forget about your customers. If you forget about your customers, I can guarantee they will forget about you. They will move on to something else. They will go try something else. So it's a balance between searching for the new and taking care of the existing, because those existing customers, if they are treated well and they are happy, they will tell their friends, and their friends will start becoming your customers as well. So taking care of existing customers may not seem like a PPA activity, but it totally is, because they will be your biggest fans. They will help bring people to you. So, okay, so this is where I'm going to be quiet again, and I'm going to ask for you guys to start. We have 10 minutes left according to my timer here. So throw up your hands. Remember, I asked you guys to come with things you've done that have helped increase your PPA, or things that you tried that totally sucked and you want to warn us all not to give that a whirl. So what have you guys been doing? And I know people have been doing it because I see it in my back office. This is the part where everybody gets real quiet for a minute, and then I start calling on people like school teacher. Oh, Sonia, you did it. Sonia, you're unmuted.
Something that has not worked for me is giving like a free month. Mm-hmm. I've done that several times. People have loved it, but they've not reordered. So that's, I've done samples, like 3-day samples. That's worked with some people. It hasn't worked with others. So I think you just kind of have to gauge the people that you're talking to.
True. And I agree. I think we all kind of have a love-hate relationship with trials or samples or freebies of any kind. I agree that if you just give away a month, like, to me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got a whole month to Thrive. That's fantastic. But to somebody who doesn't already love it or doesn't know how great it is, they may not take it properly. They may not even really think it's that big of a deal, because if it was such a big deal, why could they just get it for free? So yeah, I highly encourage anyone if you're using trial packs or samples or freebies, don't forget to still make sure everybody goes through the funnel. Don't just go passing out product. Don't just go mailing off product or giving out credits. Make sure they have an account set up. Make sure you've connected them with your upline or a sideline or whoever. Make sure that you're following up with them, because there's going to be a point at every time, whether somebody gets it for free or whether they buy it, where they have to take it and run with it. They have to decide that they want to use it properly and all that. But you, in the beginning, definitely want to make sure that you set them up correctly so that they have that support to get started. So I agree. Sometimes trials and freebies are not the way to go. But at the same time, we'll go through a period where somebody will just be doing a bunch of 1-day samples and people will order from it. So yeah, you never know. You got to, like you said, you just kind of have to play with that. Alyssa raised her hand. Let me find you on my screen because, oh, there you are. Okay. All right, Alyssa, you're unmuted.
Okay, so I know one thing that I tried in the past, and maybe it was my audience then, so I'm kind of revisiting that same audience. I think where I failed early on was connecting them with the right person. I used a specific person to connect everyone with. Now I'm making sure that, if I'm maybe talking to a teacher friend, I'm connecting them with someone who is a teacher within the Thrive world. Or if I'm talking to a medical, friend, it's someone within the medical field that I'm connecting into. And I think you'll be surprised that you may think these people are like, yeah, you're not on my team, or I have nothing to do with you. They will connect with you because they want the best for that other person regardless. Mm-hmm. But one of the other things that I'm also learning is I think that, the promos are great when the company offers them, and that's the best time for them to take advantage of it because it's a little less out of our pockets. But I think we also, I'll speak for myself, I devalued the product when I gave money off, kind of like Sonia said, where it was like, oh, free this or free that. Now it's, hey, if you want to get this, I'll toss you in for a free box of shakes with all of my other customers from this month. And it has helped.
Good. No, I was just thinking that to myself over the weekend. So the company offered 15% off, and I know I hopped on and ordered some stuff that I needed. That's a really big deal. And Kohl's sends me, not Kohl's, because I get mad if they send me only 15%. But like if a store sends you a 15% off coupon, you get super excited. I don't ever walk into Target and say, I want these 3 things, but I want one of them for free. And why aren't you giving it to me for free? So I think that sometimes we have spoiled people, or out of being afraid that they weren't going to buy, we offer them everything when they don't have to. I find that when I always call it skin in the game. When people are putting up their cash, whether it's for a 5-day or a full month, they pay a whole heck of a lot more attention on how to take it, when to take it. They respond to emails a whole lot better versus when I just given them products. So, I agree that I think it's really, I like that Lavelle is doing more of that, like promo code and that kind of stuff. But also to your point of connecting people, I cannot agree with you more. I think sometimes we get in this and we're like, well, I have to do everything with my upline. You absolutely do not. Every single face on this page right now can help you in any way, shape, or form. My story might not help anybody, but Laura Doofman may be the exact story that you need. So don't call me, call her. She will help you. We will all help you. And that's one of the reasons I always tell people too, come to the locals, which a side plug, don't forget we have a local tomorrow night, 6:30, bring all your friends. Go to the locals and hear the stories, and that's when you can be like, oh, I remember Alyssa talking that one time and she had a boot on her foot, and she was saying, even though she was having this issue, she was keeping up with stuff, and then maybe you've got a friend who's in a boot. So, you know what I mean? Like the more you know, the better you can connect people. So I agree completely. Who else wants to tell me? We have 4 minutes left before it'll just cut us off. Don't be shy. I'm scanning the crowd. Oh, Laura, you are unmuted.
Oh, I was just going to mention how I'm trying that Instagram, my Insta friends.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. I connected one with you. We'll see. She's doing a trial. I'm starting to converse a little bit more with all these people that I've connected with, literally just picking a hashtag and friending all kinds of people on there who happen to be, a lot of them end up being something with health and fitness and all that kind of stuff. And they like my posts, and sometimes they're like, oh, I can't do that. That's again, I'm already a health person, I already sell this. But you know what? Then I've talked to them about skincare, or they like my posts, I like theirs. And like, in fact, that one woman, she just, all of a sudden, I happen to put something about samples because I've got that love-hate relationship with samples. I put something, she's the only one that commented on it, and she wanted one, and I had her go make the free account. No longer, I used to cater a whole bunch to that. I'd make the account. I made her go do the free account. I, had to get on the phone call, actually on the phone. So I'm trying more of that, and just to try and reach a bunch of new people. sorry. I don't know if you can still see me. A bunch of new people that I've never met before, just trying to broaden my whole base and see what happens from there.
Yeah, you and Laura are both really good examples of people who are your, so we call them your Insta friends, because
Right.
I mean, I think it's okay to understand that you have real friends in life and then you have Insta friends. It's all right. Like, no one's judging.
Right.
But like I've said before, I used to have a store and I literally opened my door every day and I hoped and I prayed for strangers to walk in off the street and buy from me. So why it feels so weird to talk to strangers in an effort on social media to grow your business, it really shouldn't. That's what businesses rely on. We rely on total strangers. So, yeah, Laura Doofman just, I think that was Friday, put me on a 3-way call with her Insta friend. And we went, it was no different than any other 3-way call. It was just someone who she only really met on social media. So don't be afraid to start those conversations with people. But that's what I was saying. Like, if you're going to join these things, you have to start conversations. You have to make comments. You can't just scroll through and be like, oh, yep, there's all my new friends talking. You've got to engage these people some way, shape, or form. But yeah, so she got a new account out of it. And who knows? The girl may not order right away, but she might order in a month. Like, we're back to that watering, like Lindsay said. So yeah, don't be afraid. And like, my heart pounds. Like, I will literally hold my finger over the friend button for like a hot second and like think, should I friend him or shouldn't I? And then I push the button and I friend him and like nobody dies. So I don't know why it's so weird to make friends on social media. But just get out of your own way, make some friends. If they turn out to be really weird, you can unfriend them and you can even block them if you have to. So don't panic about making friends on social media. Laura Wernsman's met some real weirdos here lately, but we're having fun with it. So, all right. So we are going to run out of time. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to say, Lindsay, thank you so much. I know you're super busy, but I appreciate you hopping on here tonight. And it'll take me a little bit to get this video uploaded and downloaded and all that jazz, but I will share it when it's done. So if anything on here you wanted to share with your team, you can share the video. So thanks, guys. See my team next Monday. Bye.
Bye, y'all.